Guys, welcome to number 7 of the Derby Crime Mode Live, and to start off this episode, we are on joint points with Spurs, who are in the relegation zone. However, we have got a game in hand, so if we can win the game in hand, which is against Leeds, who are bottom of the table, then we can put ourselves all the way up in 13th, so we'll be in a pretty good place if we can win this next game. It is quite vital against Leeds. It's a game where we do need to win throughout the season, as we didn't really do that well in the last episode. We picked up, I think it was 4 losses in a row, to be honest. That Leicester game, maybe we could have done a little bit better, but we've actually lost 5 games in a row. The last point we got was against Stoke in October, so it's been over 2 months since we last got a point, so we do need to kind of pick up the 3 points in this one and get us back on track after a decent start to the Premier League, of course. Then we're away at St James's. Obviously Mike Ashley has sold, well, he's not sold it yet, but he's put it up for sale, so that's good for Newcastle fans. Then back at home against Southampton. We could maybe get a point from that game. I could see it. I'm quite surprised there's no fixture on the Boxing Day. However, this Arsenal fixture may move when or maybe this Spurs fixture will move when the FA Cup draw is done. So we'll have to wait and see throughout this episode. But in between the 2 episodes, we got a great offer for Tom Huddleston here from West Brom. It is 2.75 million. As if we don't sell him now, he's going to go on a free. We may as well just accept that offer and hope it goes through. Because if not, we basically get nothing, and he's going to sit on the bench for another 6 months basically and not really do much. So let's go into the game. Another derby game. In the last episode we played against Leicester, now against Leeds. I'd say Leeds derby is probably a bigger derby than Leicester in my opinion, even though geographically probably Leicester are closer. I think Leeds is a bit more of a derby game. So here's the Leeds team for today's game. I'm not 100% sure who they've actually signed between now and last season. It's a very similar team. Siaz in behind the striker was absolutely fantastic last time we did play them. Put Vieira in there in the midfield, obviously a youngster, quite decent next to Phillips. Then Demble and Eiling at the fullback positions, Liam Cooper and Janssen in the defence, Wiedewald in goal, Zinelli and Kansin out wide, and Sabicki up front. It's a like for like, we're playing exactly the same system, so it's a matter of who's the better team, and I really hope we can win this game and get us into a great position in the table. Chance here for Leeds though, on the side of the crossbar. Rebounds out, and it's just about cleared. Ball goes into the box, it's into Wisdom though, should clear it. Now on the edge to Vieira off the crossbar, really good chance from the youngster. Going to have to pull it back here to Solanke. He's gone past the defender with the shot, and it is in the back of the net. Dominic Solanke, that's what I wanted him to do, get the goal, and that's what he's done. And we haven't really tried him that much, like we bring him on for the last 20 minutes here and there, but that really is quite difficult for a striker, especially when we're already losing the game, to actually do anything. But from the start he's been quite good. Nice bit of run, pulls inside, then gets out, goes past the centre back, and it's a great finish in fairness, right into that top left to make it 1-0, and that's only his 2nd goal, I think. Yeah, 2nd goal this season. I might be getting sent off here, I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, I've just been sent off. I just done something really stupid there. I don't know why I did that. Solanke has gone down injured there. He just went up for the header and hasn't really landed too well. Only 2 minutes to go as well. That's a little bit lucky from Leeds there. It's gone through down for Antonsen, and they have scored in the last minute there. Leeds United, really annoying. Because the way the ball bounced and Solanke getting injured there, that really annoyed me. Really, really lucky. I think it's Sias actually, as I was saying at the start of the game, absolutely fantastic. And both managers identical player face. That's a little bit frustrating, like we've both got the same person. As you can see here, that ball there, like how lucky do they want to get? Nice bit of 1-2 passing on the edge, and not much Blake can do there at the end. Did Matai Vidra lose us this game? Maybe. But it's like, in the last minute as well, we did kind of short up shot, and that was the last kick of the game. Was it scripted? We don't know, but really unfortunate to lose it there. We didn't create enough. I don't think we did create enough in this game. Only 3 for each team. Leeds had slightly more possession, obviously, in the last 15 minutes, having quite a lot of the ball. That's probably my fault. My fault getting Vidra sent off, because we could have taken him off, get an extra man in the middle, and just made sure we didn't concede there, but we did. Just thinking whether we do extend Keogh's contract, because he was quite good in the last game, I must say. He was quite decent. And it doesn't really matter, like, if you look at his stats in terms of attributes, he's still got decent-ish pace, like 60, 63. Not the best of stamina, obviously, so he's not going to be able to last every game. But I think it's probably best just to let him go out on a free, because you don't want to extend his contract then not be able to sell him at the end of the season when we don't really need him. So we'll let those players expire. But for the time being, we are going away to St James's against Newcastle. What I'm thinking of doing away games, I think we do need to get a bit more of a tactical approach like we do in real life. If you notice, Vidra doesn't play a lot of these games where you go into a big team. We play a bit of a weaker team. Do we play something like this where we put Keith Dembele and Thorne together and then Will Hughes just behind, maybe just pop him back a little bit, something like that. Here we are then at St James's Park. Unfortunately I can't show you the lineups obviously, but we will have a look in the squad report screen. I'd be interested to see again what kind of team Newcastle have got. They have got, I think that's Joselu up front, Giovanni Dos Santos, a player that was suggested by a few of you guys, Matt Ritchie and Guardado out wide. Colbeck and Hayden, very uncreative central defensive midfielders, so defensively they'll be quite strong. Messina and Manquillo at the fullback position, Lejeune and Clark in the defence, and Caldolo in goal. They did actually sell Lascelles, and I've put him onto the shortlist because he's gone to, I think it was Sampdoria, and he'd be a great player in this team. Obviously kind of a local lad, like was a Forest player, now bring him into Derby, and he's what we kind of need. We need that kind of defensive... well, yeah, basically a younger Kia, that's what we need. Ooh, chance here for Newcastle with the shot, and it is Joselu with the absolute belter to put it into the back of the net. Not much Andre Blake could do there. Just a little poor, I think it was a tackle, and then it just spewed away out for him. And the Spaniard has got the first goal in the first 20 minutes there. A little bit frustrating. I think I will just show you the highlight here. As you can see, I think, yeah, we got the tackle in with Jordan Ivan. Maybe Richie just managed to kick it out, and Kyo, unfortunately, just about missing out with that old age. He is just to pace off it, of course. Maybe in his younger age he would have saved that. Keeper wasn't exactly in the right place at the right time, but it's a pretty good strike. Not much he could do. Chance here for Newcastle with the shot, and it is with Jack Colbeck. He's found the back of the net. I think it's time to make a few changes. We did just bring Baluli on. Obviously, we still got him until the window does shut. We're also going to bring on, I think we do need to go to striker. I don't think we're creating enough chances, so we'll probably go to a 4-1-2-1-2. Ball into the box now in the last 10 minutes, and it's a great header from Save. I think that is the Frenchman. It's a ridiculously good header. He had the run up in fairness on Kyo, but really good to put the nail in the coffin, really. Not much to say about that. Right in the corner again, Blake, nothing. Really good too. Just looking at the calendar then, obviously we've got Southampton, then we've got Arsenal. Basically we're going to have to play a different team for this game against Arsenal. And then, in the FA Cup, we've got Everton in the third round, and we need to get to the round of 32, so we have to win that game. So, a little bit annoying. We did actually beat Everton early on in the season, if you do remember. Unfortunately now, we don't actually have a point per game, so we do need to pick up some points in this game at home against Southampton. They're only a few points above us, so should be an easy enough game, and hopefully can be a little bit more positive with our play. I think we'll put Chris Martin back up front. I think we just need that focal point. Solanke, he's decent, but he's not quite as physical as Chris Martin. He does go a bit missing at times in the game. Jamie Hansen actually did quite well, so I'm going to put him in for George Thorne. And I think I'll probably go with that lineup. I don't think there's many changes really needed. We do need to bring in somebody that can score though. We are missing a few goals here and there. Looking at the Southampton team then, they're playing a 4-2-3-1 as well. Really interesting team actually. There's Alex McCarthy in goal, obviously Forster, or Foster, whatever his name is, Forster. Looking at the Southampton team then, they have got McCarthy in goal, no Forster in goal. Not really, it is a bit of a youth team. There is a Naki Williams on that right wing, Shane Long up front, Hesketh up in the attacking mid, Reed and Romeo, I think that is in the holding, Redmond out wide, Demissi and Saki at and the fullback positions. Bit of a weaker Southampton team, but obviously with the Naki Williams and Redmond out wide, they can do quite a bit of damage. As you can see, the top four is very interesting indeed on pretty much the end of the year now. Burnley, Bournemouth and Leicester all in the top four. Obviously no Arsenal, Chelsea, Spurs are in the relegation zone. That's how crazy this season is. I don't know if they've sold a lot of their bigger players to like Real Madrid or something, but we've got a chance here with Moses Simon. Demissi is keeping up quite well. It's gone into the back post though, Hughes offside. Through for Martin then. He has Winner off the centre-back. Hopefully he can get a good, decent shot off, and he has. Off the post, Chris Martin, he's back in the lineup, and he has found the back of the net, shushing all those doubters. And that's what we needed. We got a little bit lucky. We won it off the centre-back, poor pass from him. And I wasn't 100% sure if that other centre-back was going to get a block in there, so Really glad that came off the post with his weaker foot. I think he's got foot-star weaker foot in fairness. Really good finish from Chris Martin. That's what we needed in the first 20-ish minutes as well. We haven't scored early on for quite a while. We're for Southampton to run on to. Hopefully Vidra can get on the end of this, and he has, and we have found the back of the net. 2-0 now. And that is a real weight off your shoulders when you get that extra goal. Only 5 minutes after Martin getting his. Matai Vidra back in the lineup as well. Makes the difference and gets us into a really good position. This is like the first time in a while that we've been in a comfortable area. Southampton with a nice run. Pulls it across and nice easy finish for Vidra. Really can't complain with that. That's about his 9th, maybe 8th goal this season. Like, Martin really doesn't score, but I think we do need someone a bit more impactful towards the end of the game, because Solanke's pretty much like for like with Martin. We need someone with like 90 pace. We basically need a young David Nugent. Unfortunately, Nugent now, he's only got about 65 pace, so he's not that effective off the bench. All over the top here for Lawrence. If we can make it 3, we've pretty much made it 3, and there we go. It is in the back of the net. Made it 3. And we got the 3 points. That's what I was trying to say there. But yeah, it's really nice volley actually from Tom Lawrence. Maybe the keeper could have done it a little bit better. But it's again like, why is Southampton not playing Forster? Maybe he's injured, I'm not sure. But nice chip over the top by Martin. Good touch. And then on volley. Yes. Maybe he could have done a bit better. Bit unlucky from the keeper. That's Tom Lawrence's first Premier League goal. So I think you remember last season it took him a while to get his first goal for the club. And then after he got that goal, he did start to pick up a few, but it's great to see us get a 3-0 victory, of course. It just did take us a while. It was a good 6 or 7 losses in a row. Well, we got the draw, obviously, against... who did we draw against? Leeds. But other than that, we really haven't done well in these last 10 games. Into the next game, then, to end off the year against Arsenal. If you look at the table, though, Arsenal are only, what, like 4 points above us, so... not exactly much of a difference, and with that victory, puts us on to 18 points. It puts us 3 points clear of the bottom. Really good to see. Obviously, Leeds are doing quite well, actually. They've broken a bit of a rock. They were on 6 points in the last episode, and now they're on 13, so they've doubled their points. It's taken us a while to get used to these new sliders, which do make it a lot tougher, of course, but I think they are quite realistic. We shouldn't be any higher than where we are, so I'm glad to see they are working effectively. Now, Arsenal's going to be a tough one because, firstly, they're a great team, and secondly, fitness-wise, we're not looking too good. We will use the black kit for this game. If you just look at the lineup, we're going to have to make a few changes, obviously. Here we are then at the Emirates. It is a really good-looking stadium, of course, so let's have a look at the Arsenal lineup. I think they have got Cech in goal. Then they've got a back 5 of Sidibe, Kolasinac, Van Dijk, Koscielny and Mertesacker. A bit strange Mertesacker's in there, but still a very good team. Coquelin and El Nene, 2 great defensive midfielders. And then Quaresma and Anor and Lacazette up front. It's interesting to see Quaresma at the club. He must be like 33 now. And again, with Mertesacker, he's probably about 35. There are a couple of old players, but still a very good team. Obviously, it's Sidibe and Van Dijk. Great choices in that Arsenal defence. Probably players they should sign in real life, but... we'll have to wait and see if they do happen or not, but it's going to be a really tough one. I've gone for this midfield 3 of Thorne, Kieftenbeld and Bryson, then Solanke, just to see how Solanke does in this kind of system, because in the 4-2-3-1, doesn't do too well. Through for Bryson then. He's gone past the defender with the shot. Oh, it's just wide of the post. That would have been a great start. And that's what you need in this formation. You need a Craig Bryson. He's obviously not got quite the legs he used to have, but that run he made got him through the defence, and we've almost found the back of the net there very early on against Arsenal. Chance for Kieftenbeld to run at the defence. Gone out wide to Solanke with the shot. Straight down Cech's throat. Over the top, and Solanke with the header. Onto the edge to Kieftenbeld. Really good volley from the Dutchman. We are going to make our changes though now. We have got a few options on the bench. We've had to put players that we have actually sold, like Brereton and Balutli. But I'll bring on Joe Ledley, I think, just for... or maybe do it... I think I'll bring on Butterfield, you know, just give him a chance. Like, we haven't really played him. And he was actually quite decent in that Doncaster game. Bryson just obviously dropping off a bit with the pace. And I think we'll bring on David Nugent up front. I think we could get a goal from him. He still got that finish in, but if you look at his pace, it's under 60 now, so it's not looking too good, but he's going to be in the right place at the right time, and that's what we need in this game. Now into David Nugent, through for Kieftenbeld. Great ball, saved by Cech, and Thorne has found the back of the net. Thank God for that. That's a really important goal. George Thorne, the captain's armband, of course. Really important goal against Arsenal. Like, we've worked really hard. I think the systems helped a lot in this game. We just made our changes. David Nugent with a great ball through, actually, for Kieftenbeld, like, in between him. Unfortunately, couldn't get that goal, but is the angle. I was like, oh, has Van Dijk blocked that, or has he missed the target? Managed to get it into the top left. Really good, an important goal. And now Arsenal are going to put on the pressure. Granit Xhaka now coming on for Arsenal. Obviously, they're going to chuck their good ones on now. They are playing a bit of a weak team, but George Thorne has found the back of the net there again. Incredible stuff from George Thorne. He's got 2 goals there. Ospina not looking happy. How did he score that? It went into the box, and then maybe a flick on. Was that from David Nugent? Or was it Rawson with the flick on? But a great header from Thorne to find the back of the net and make it 2-0. We've lost so many games in a row. And George Thorne, 2 minutes, literally 2 goals in 2 minutes. I'm going to watch that back. Who actually got that flick on? So it was David Nugent. I was just, as we subbed him on, I was like, he's going to make stuff happen. And he's done a great flick on. In between, who is that? That's Pereira, I think that is. Yeah, Pereira and Van Dijk sandwiched. He's managed to pull the header off, get it into the back post. Sidibe and Koscielny bumping into each other. It's a great goal. Really well worked. Like this system definitely against the 5 at the back definitely works. We've got one more change to make. I think we keep George Thorne on, that's for sure. He's bloody banging on all the goals. The question is, do we bring on Joe Ledley for Kieftenbeld? He's looking a bit low, so I think we will. Also, it gives him a chance to play. One to Lacazette now. He's on the edge of the box. We have got a few men back. We have put it on defensive. Xhaka there with the shot. Wide of the post. Chance here for Van Dijk. Good save from Blake at the near post. Chance here for Lacazette. He's gone round Dunk with the shot. Blake with a ridiculously good save. I don't know how he's pulled that one off. Ciceretti with the ball in the box. Rawson with the header. What are we just, like, Arsenal aren't known for their set pieces, but we've just scored 2 great goals, and it is the young man Rawson in the Premier League with his first ever goal for the club, I think it is as well. So great place to do it, and we're 3-0 against Arsenal. It's kind of like we struggle against these lower teams. Like we got absolutely smashed by Newcastle, but then against a team like Arsenal, where we've had to play a second team because the way the fixtures have fallen, and we've managed to beat them. Chance here then for Arsenal. It's basically just keeping the clean sheet at this point in the game. They have gone short into Xhaka, who isn't the most mobile place, but it's gone into the near post with the shot, and Arsenal have actually found the back of the net. It is Bernat, the man off the bench. Is it going to make much of a difference? Probably not, but they went short there. I wasn't too sure why they went short, but then in the end, got it into the near post. Maybe it's Joe Ledley, actually. We've got to touch on that as well. But they're back in it, Arsenal. Maybe they'll get back into it. There it is, full time against Arsenal. We have won 3-1 at the Emirates. Not many people can say that, but George Thorne won the game. It's as simple as that. 2 goals in 5 minutes for him. And Rawson with a decent goal as well, just to make sure. But Andre Blake, I'm going to see how many saves he's actually made in this game, because he probably did win the game just as much as we did. He had 5 saves. Really important. Check with 8, though. We really did dominate Arsenal, though. We found a lot of space, as we did have 3 in the midfield, and Arsenal only had 2. We managed to get a lot of shots off. So we're in the January transfer window now, and Breton and Baluli have left the club, so the club's a little bit thinner now. We've not quite got as much squad depth, but we didn't exactly need them. We had more than enough options. David Nugent did a great job in the last game, and he's 33 years old. So looking at the shortlist, definitely going to be bringing in a centre-back as, what's his name? Kara's going to be out until the end of the season, so we definitely need to do that. We've got about 12 mil to spend, so we could bring in a couple of decent 6 mil-ish players. We could also save a bit of money, buy someone like Matt Clark, who's worth about 2 mil, and then grow him. That's always another option. We've got a few youngsters here, and a few players in their prime, such as Capano, Astoria, maybe even Lascelles. That would be a good shout to get him back to England. He's currently in Italy. Still got a few left backs there. I'm not 100% sure about Sessio and Cambo, but Jeff Hendrick, you can actually approach to sign him on a free at the end of the season. He's got very good wages, though, at 76 to 120, so it would cost quite a bit, but it's a lot cheaper than having to buy him straight up from Burnley, so I think I'll look to do that in between, in the next episode at the start. I've also got Pascal Gross here. Would be a little bit too expensive for my liking, but decent wages in fairness. Nico Barella from Cagliari, very good youngster, 21 years old, has a very good potential as well. Same with Yao Pereira, but some of these players I'm not 100% sure about. But we definitely need a striker as well. I think we need more goals in this team. We did manage to score quite a few in those last 2 games against Southampton and Arsenal. But we just need someone off the bench that can make an impact, like David Nugent was last year. He's just lost his legs, unfortunately, so he's not going to be able to do it every single week. Chris Wood's also another option. Very similar to Chris Martin, obviously that big bulky striker, and he's got a lot more pace than Martin, and probably would do a better job than him. So there's an option we could always look at. But make sure you guys do leave your comments down below on any players you want me to sign. Obviously I've got a decent amount of money, so I think we're going to go wrap up this episode here. Leave a like if you did enjoy this episode. Decent episode in my opinion. We've managed to push ourselves a little bit higher in the table. Still only, what, like 6 points off the relegation zone, so we do need to be a bit wary. If we do lose a couple of games in a row, it may look bad again. But I may be tempted to pick up some players from those relegation teams and just make them weaker and make us stronger. So hopefully you guys did enjoy this episode. Leave a like, comment any players you want me to sign, and see you soon. Bye.